Alaikum guys, I hope you all are fine. I'm fine, Alhamdulillah. So today we are back with another guide, and this time I am giving you a guide on how to become a Cavalier. So let's get started. So okay guys, so now we are in the first quest, and right now I'm gonna be giving you a bit of a breakthrough on what is a global node and what is the easy path. So okay, so at first what you gotta do is you enter the quest, you will have this kind of this kind of display. So what you need to do is to move towards Agent Venom. So okay, so he has Overreach Fury and Bane of Dumbala, but let me first explain the global node. So the global node is node retreat, which requires a bit of a practice. I just went in with very little practice, I did some practice, but very little practice. So what happens is that when you dash back, then you get a degen timer for 1.2 seconds. So if you dash back again, then then the degen timer which is active will cause a passive degen, which will deal 200% of the defender's attack as direct damage over 5 seconds. So now that is not like the highest damage in the world or like the biggest damage in the world, but it is still bit of a hard node, I should say. Like not that much easy. It's like not the most easiest node in this whole 6.1 chapter, but it's still not that hard one. Yes, it's not that hard one like biohazard, etc. So what you gotta do is move towards this Agent Venom. He just has some extra damage and extra lifesteal. Then you gotta move towards this red skull path. He has aspect of the tyranny. Villains in this arena attain absolute power. Heroes do not gain power. So you do not gain any power. Like heroes do not gain any power, while villains attain more power. So okay, so in this fight he has unblockable SP1, which means that you need to dex it somehow. So I I am not good at dodging Iron Man's SP1, but I somehow managed to do it, and then wanted to push him to his SP2 and then just bait him. So I think I just baited his 1 SP1, and then that's it. And Colossus for the fight. So I use Colossus for most of Act 6.1. Okay, so now then you move towards Punisher 2099 with Overreach Fury, and what does Overreach do is that while the attacker has 2 or more Fury buffs, the defender slowly accumulates power over time and gains plus 100% attack, while the attacker has 0 Fury buffs, defender gains plus 20% ability accuracy. So which means that when you will have Fury buffs, then they will get power over time, which so you should avoid champions who get Furies like Venom, and I just have him in my mind currently. So then you move towards Nebula. So she has power drain. Whenever she activates her special attack, your power is fully drained, and she is energized. So she gains more power when she gains more power in the fight. So yeah, and then you move towards this Gambit, who has pessimist and aggression regeneration. So what you gotta do is just be so much aggressive that he doesn't activate a regeneration buff. The regeneration is very slow, like 0.25% of max health, but it's still a good amount. And when you hit them, then one stack is removed. So then you move towards this path, and then there are absolutely no ambushes, and then you move towards Sabertooth. So what Sabertooth has is decimation. So when he starts the fight with a Fury buff against mutant champions, and that Fury buff grants him plus 15% attack. Then he has Oscillate 3, which is not that much like hard node. Every 15 seconds, the defender alternates between a Fury passive, increasing base attack by 300%, and an armor up crit resistance passive, increasing armor and crit resistance by 3000. So it's not that much big, and it's another easy node. Then Optimist, then they gain Fury, armor up, and health steal as long as they remain below 25% HP. And then he has Indomitable, so his regeneration abilities cannot be reversed like when you use Void or Captain America Infinity War. His regeneration will not be reversed, but instead it will be blocked. So in this quest, it was like not that hard like other quests, I'm gonna tell you which is the hardest question just in a bit, but it was a bit challenging for me. So I think I used like 5 to 6 revives, because you know that I'm not that much of a pro. So anyways, I pushed it here, and then yeah, that's it. So now let's move on to the second quest. So okay, so now we are now here at quest number 2, which is not that much easy, but not that one hard as well, that much hard as well. So what you have is you have 3 paths of these. Like, you can take any of these 3 paths. I took A path, which is very easy, but because Kurvas missions obviously, and Black Widow also does some evades. So you know, I brought Corvus with Proxima Minutes energy, so that way we could cancel the other champions evades. So okay, so then you move toward this yellow jacket. Oh wait, let me tell you guys the node. So if you take out this node, then the boss gets plus 50% health, I think, attack and health, or maybe it's something different, I don't remember. It's just minus 50% attack and health, so it's like easier than normal fights. So special delivery. So what happens in special delivery, that you need to use your SP1 constantly, because if you push your champion to more than 1 bar of power and those 15 charges are gone, then you are gonna be inflicted with a passive degen, which is equal to 100% of a defender's attack rating over 4 seconds. And the second one is kind of a bonus. It is combo party. For every 10 hits on the combo meter, the defender gains a permanent cruelty buff, granting plus 500 critical damage rating. When struck, the attacker loses all cruelty buffs if their combo meter is lost, and takes 40% of the defender's attack as direct damage for each cruelty buff removed this way. So actually I found something very funny. So what Corvus has is that he has active cruelties, and when he got knocked down, then his all cruelty buffs was removed, even though he did the missions. But so I think this was just a bit of a weird interaction. So yeah, so okay, so then we have Yellow Jacket, a very easy fight, enhanced SP1 and nothing more. Okay, so then we have the next fight, a Hulk fight. He has Optimist, not that much pain in the ass. Then you have Wasp, unblockable. All special attacks are unblockable. So what you need to do is you need to bait her SP1 constantly. And then Luke Cage with unblockable finale. So the funny thing here was that with unblockable finale was that when he was gonna reach his 25% health, Quake got knocked out, and then I brought Quake again, and then I used her heavy again to cancel out that unblockable finale, and that was it. He didn't activate his unblockable finale anyway. So that was something very nice and weird as well. So MCoC is giving everyone a link node, which is bubble shield. What happens is that each block attack reduces your block proficiency for by 6%. After 10 stacks, the next attack is unblockable. So if you have like reduced 60% block proficiency, then the attack will be one attack will be unblockable, and then the rest will be the 11th attack will be unblockable, and the rest attacks will be blockable, and then after this, so it just goes on like that. So MCoC has the following nodes: explosive personality, which is a big pain in the ass, so you need someone like who can get to strike like Heimdall, if you know how to get balance his to strike, etc. But I used Corvus here, so it was a very easy fight for me. And then I attacked his block, and he got those armor ups, and then I parried him, and then those armor ups converted to 5 armor breaks, which was a very nice thingy. So okay, so the next fight is Sentinel fight. Not that much hard, but still not that much easy as well. So what he has is he has Biohazard and Arc Overload, which are probably the most pain in the ass. Arc Overload cannot be cancelled by parrying like self repair, so it's a bit of a problem. So what Biohazard does is that when you strike the opponent, normally strike the opponent, and you receive a bleed debuff, dealing 100% of defender's attack as direct damage over 7.5 seconds. And if when they are blocking and then you hit them, then you receive a poison debuff, which has a 50% chance to inflict, and it deals 100% of defender's attack as direct damage. So the best one for Biohazard node is Omega Red. he is poison immune and he takes 90% less damage from bleed, so he is very useful. But he wasn't useful for me because I didn't have him as a rank 4. I had him as a rank 3. Rank 3 him what do you call it, recently. So yeah, so okay, he has bubble sheet as well. I have already explained it. Special attack heal block, the defender special attacks and field attack heal block, and passive fate steal against regeneration buffs for 10 seconds. And then prey on the weak, the defender gains 1% of their max power each time a buff is nullified, expires, or is removed of the attacker. So I used Corvus here to complete his mission as well, and then when I reached we had 3 missions done already, 1 Avenger, 1 evade mission, and I already had Proxima Midnight, so I took this ball down in 2 tries. It was very easy, but shock damage was what was killing me. So what happened, I'm gonna explain those nodes in just a second. Aggression armor, every 2 seconds on the timer he gains an armor up buff, increasing his armor by 50% per stack. And then spry, each time the defender passively evades an attack, a fatigue debuff is placed on the attacker, reducing their critical rating by 1000 for 15 seconds. So if you're using someone like Blade, then your critical rating will be reduced like huge. So it will be probably like you can do crits. Then we have EMP modification. Whenever the attacker gains a buff, the defender gains an overclock charge, max 10 stacks. For each charge, the defender deals plus 15% energy damage. With each strike, defenders special attacks convert all charges into passive shocks, each dealing 25% of attacker's energy damage over 10 seconds. Now this is the most problematic node on this boss, EMP modification. I didn't quite read it, but I thought that this was the incursions one. So what he does is that the more buffs you have, like with Corvus I had 3 buffs, so then he deals plus 45% energy damage with each strike, and when he hits us with his special attack, then he just destroys us one shot. And whenever he uses special attack, and if you dex it like special one, then you receive shocks equal to the overclocked charges, which is very insane damage. But we had Corvus, and once his immunity was down, and then those shock damages stripped him down. So okay, then his backup recovery. When brought below 50% health, the defender gains a burst of 30% power. If a reduction to ability accuracy prevents this, the defender instead recovers 25% back health. So what you need to do is don't use someone like Quick. Then he has Spite. While opponents have active buffs, this champion activates Power Flood out of Spite, granting 18% power per second and special attacks a 100% chance to be unblockable. So I just use Corvus because I know how to attack his SP1, and that was it. So yeah, it's not that much problematic, and those global nodes are the same, special delivery and combo party. So now the second quest is done, so now let's move on to the third quest. Now we are in the third quest, and when you enter the third quest you get this display. So what you need to do is first move towards Old Man Logan. He has this global node which is long distance relationship. So what happens is that whenever you are close to the defender, every 3 seconds you gain a weakness debuff. So what happens is that while close to the defender, the attacker gains a weakness debuff every 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds you get a weakness debuff, reducing their attack by 10% permanently. So that reduces my Corvus kits by huge. And then staying far away from the defender causes his weakness effect to gradually fall off. So what I really liked about this node was that one, the fights were very long, like 4-5 minutes per fight, even if I one shot it anyway. And the second thing was that I have willpower, so those weaknesses are active weaknesses, not passive. So we activated willpower and we were like healing health. So this is why that is why this quest was very easy. Then just go here and here, no explanation needed here. So the thing is a very hard fight here, but not that hard. I like to come in 3 tries, which is very good. So then you have Ghost, which is the most favorite fight, my most favorite fight in all of Act 6, all of boss fight in all of Act 6. So this is a very easy. So each time you stun, she reduces your further stun debuff duration by 20%, and she has 2 strikes, so you can use Quick. Then she has aggression cruelty, then she has enhanced crit rate, enhanced critical rate plus and damage, and God Slate. So special attack benefit from 50% increased critical hit damage. So it is a very easy fight. I liked it. I like 2 or 3 shot her. It was something like that. So yes, now we have done this third quest very quickly. This was the most easiest I have ever played in all of Act 6. So okay, so now let's go move on to the fourth quest. So now here we are at the fourth quest, and this is not that much hard one, but not that one easy one either, according to me. So here it has many different easy paths. Like the one path is you go against this rhino, and then you teleport from here to here, and these champions are very easy to defeat when duck, etc. So okay, so the node here that is like kind of benefitable and kind of bad as well. So they have close encounter, so whenever you are close to the defender you degenerate 1% health, but whenever you are far away then you degenerate 3% health. So okay, so what I did was that because I had Corvus, I for the sake of his missions I went on this path, Kang path. It is, yes, this one. I was thinking of going up against Heimdall, but he had a very hard node. But if you want to go up against Rhino, let me explain the node here. Here, Aspect of War. At the start of the fight, the attacking block begins to decay to 0 over 50 seconds, and this defender is unblockable against enemies with 0 block efficiency. In addition, the defender gains unstoppable and stun immunity for 6 seconds when activating a special attack. The unstoppable effect is removed prematurely if the player intercepts any dash or heavy attack. So it is a very hard road in my opinion, so you should not go on this path. If you want to go, then it's not that like it's your decision. So I went against this Kang. He has aspect of evolution and strike back. Strike back wasn't that much of a problem. Aspect of evolution is a very easy node. Whenever they fill a bar of power, they raise their fury, raise their attack, armor rating, critical rating, critical damage. Sorry, I'm just going too fast so that I don't waste the time, etc. Power rate, etc. It's very easy to counter. And after defeating this Kang, you go to this path. Crossbones, a very easy fight. Then Karnak, easy fight. Civil Warrior, Nebula, easy fight. Then you go here towards Loki, and yeah, that's it. He has very easy, like very easy nodes. Force of Will. The defender is immune to ability accuracy reduction, passives, and debuffs. And then he has buff duration. All buffs for this champion last 40% longer. He has dulled. Crit chances reduced by 50% for each buff active on you and debuff active on your opponent. Limber. And then he has Limber. He gains whenever you stun him, he reduces further stun debuff duration by 10%. And then he has enhanced SP1. So that means that his SP1's first hit will be unblockable and the rest will be unblockable, but it's just 2 hits and it's very easy to dodge, so just dodge it. And sometimes I got clipped because I was trying to parry him by hitting his block and pushing to his SP2, but he only shot his SP2 one time, and then the rest he just shot his SP1. So okay, so now this quest is done. So now let's move on to the fifth quest. So now here we are at the fifth quest. So as you can see that you go towards this path and then go towards the superior element. You can go on this path as well if you find the nodes easy. So what superior element has is enhanced armor break and aspect of nightmares, very easy nodes, and aggressive. He is very aggressive, and the global node is power struggle, so you can gain power by normal means, usual means. So whenever the defender fills a bar of power, they get 1 bar of power, and whenever they use a special attack, they drain your all power. So that is just a bit of a problem. So okay, then you have stun immunity. Wait, did I miss anything? No, I didn't. Okay, so then you move towards Falcon, and he is stun immune, heal prevention, and his masochism. So this was probably one of the most difficult fights for me on this path. Like I was using Corvus to get the mission done, and I was like accidentally parrying and giving in an armor break, and then he heals like 5% health. So then you have Sabertooth, a very easy fight, immune to bleed, enhanced fury and enhanced bleed. They just deal 40% more damage. Then you have Venom. He has Anamnesis, break the normal limitations of a genetic memory with perfect recollection of up to 20 effects. So he can collect up to 20 buffs. He has enhanced bleed and outlast. reduces damage by up to 20% proportion to missing health. And then you have She-Hulk. She is immune to bleed. She has vigor, which is a bit of a problematic note. Then she has Stupefy, so she increases all the duration of stuns by 100%. Then we have Old Man Logan, so he has aggression precision, very easy one. Bloodletting increase the duration of bleed effect by 100%, and he is stun immune as well. So Winter Soldier fight is probably the hardest for me, the hardest on this path, because the nodes are buffet, and it is a 15% buffet, not a 10%, not a 5% buffet, it's a 15% buffet. So I am very used to dodging his SP1. So I think that this fight was the most hardest fight for me on this path. uh, so what happened was that he was using Invisible Woman, and he used his SP1 in a dash pack, and he gained 15% health. And I was like, bro, what is this? I can't even use Quake here. So it he also has two strike, and then he has Bane. So what happens is that whichever champion lands the first hit will place a curse on the opposing champion, which deals 1% of their current health as direct damage per second. Whenever a champion with the curse strikes the other champion, or if the curse has been on the same champion for 10 seconds, it passes to the other champion. So yeah, that is a bit of a pain in the ass, but not that much pain in the ass, because it's like a lot in Act 5, especially the 5.2, especially 5.2. So this is the most problematic, most hardest boss fight in Act 6.1 in your journey to get Cavalier. It was personally for me, and he has like different nodes. So he is given Bane node to him, which is which is good. So if you take him down, then this fight will be a bit easy. But the other one is giving Mephisto is giving him Force of Will. So what happens is that he is immune to ability accuracy reduction and passives and debuffs, like how Quake does it. So what I did for this fight was, at first I was struggling a lot. I used Omega 2-3 times, I used Corvus 5-6 times, and I was like, bro, I'm not even giving him a scratch or something. And then I thought of a plan. I quit the game, I took some rest, ate my breakfast, and then went in back again, and used Corvus full 5 hit combos. I had like 2 missions done, so I was doing a good amount of damage, not that bad amount of damage. So as soon as he got his vigor regeneration, which means that you need to be very aggressive, I quit the fight. And because he can regenerate up to 50% of his base health, which over just 5 seconds, which is a lot, and he already has like 400,000 health, so he just regenerated 200,000 health, and it's not a joke, it's a big of a deal. So I did this constantly, and I knocked him down after 5-6 more tries. So it was pretty good for me, and I was happy. So now 5th quest is done. So now let's move on to the last quest. We are at the last quest to get Cavalier. So the easy paths, there are 2 easy paths here. 2 easy paths actually. These 2 easy paths are easy obviously. So okay, so you have Moon Knight at first. So what is the global node is that they have a Hurt Locker. So if you use the same special attack in arrow, it will inflict the attacker with a delayed blast charge for 5 seconds, which may be removed with a heavy attack, and if you don't, then you will be inflicted with you will instantly lose 50% health. So yeah, that is a bit of a pain in the ass global node. Not that much, just don't use special attacks in the same special attacks in a row. Like there are 3 special attacks, not like there is 1 special attack. So okay, so then you move here. This is the first easy path, which I didn't take, which I thought that it is hard. All special attacks are unblockable, etc. And as you can see, that here are many more thingies. So all special attacks and unblockable, enhanced energy attacks, etc. Recovery. So this is a very easy path in my opinion, but I didn't take this path. I took a bit harder path. So if you wanna avoid the havoc, then you can go on this path. But if you don't, then you should fight havoc. I used Colossus and Corvus, and then Heimdall, another easy fight and then move towards this Wolverine X23. So what happens is that whenever they have a regeneration buff, they are all special attacks are unblockable. All attacks are unblockable, whether they are basic, whether they are heavy, which are already unblockable, whether they are special attacks. So it's just a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's still a pain in the ass. So then there's an arc overload node. What happens is that at the start of the fight and every 20 seconds they get an armor up buff, which increases their armor by 25%, and regeneration buff, which heals 25% of their max health. These buffs last for 6 seconds. So all you gotta do is take like good mystics like Doom or Clairvoyant, who can nullify and stagger the opponent, etc. So yeah, and when you destroy these paths, then you move towards Sentinel here. So when you move towards Sentinel, he has like a lot of nodes, but he is still very easy because he doesn't have biohazard. He just has Heartstopper. Mutant Pursuit reduces opponent's attack with special attacks by 25% when facing a target of the mutant class. Skill training increases critical resistance by 25% when facing a target of the skill class. Science research reduces the duration of the target's debuff effects by 50% when facing a target of the science class. Mystic observation reduces the duration of the target's power lock effects by 50% and generates 50% power each time a power lock expires while facing a target of the Mystic class. Tech advancement abilities that cause Sentinel to lose power are 30% less effective when facing a target of the Tech class. So what you gotta do is that mostly you should use like a Tech champion or a skill champion or a cosmic champion. So these are the best classes for this. And then he is stun immune and he has plague mind and he has 50 curves, so neither champion can activate buff reduce for the first 30 seconds of the fight. So Corvus, if you have like done like 1-2 missions on Corvus, then they won't be useful, but I still use Corvus because I'm good at this at medium intercepts to Corvus with Corvus. So what I did was I constantly intercepted him 5-hit combo, intercept, 5-hit combo, intercept, 5-hit combo, intercept, bait his SP1, 5-hit combo, intercept, and when the glaive charges expired, and then just quit the fight and then do it all again. So it was a bit longer. Sorry, I did a bit of a mistake. So it was a bit longer, but it still was worth it, and it just got like 8 revives. So that is like lesser than Crossbones quest, which like use 20 revives on that quest, I think, which are a lot. So okay, so overall summary of Act 6 is that Act 6 you should have someone like Corvus or Quake. These are the two best champions in my opinion. Void is also very useful, destroying those regeneration nodes. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope I helped you guys for achieving the Cavalier title. Thank you guys for watching the video. Khuda Hafiz.